Hi, I'm Laura Cavicchi, founder of Thirsty Lotus. What I want to talk about is I call the life resume. And I'll tell a little story that kind of explains what I'm talking about. So a few years ago, I was at coffee with a potential new friend, and she asked me, like anybody does, well, what do you like to do, right? And you tell me about, what do you do? And I said, well, I'm a therapist and I'm a mom. And there's just total silence. That was it. I was slowly dying inside, trying to search for the things, and I couldn't. I couldn't. And on the outside, I felt just as awkward. And it's then that I realized, oh my gosh, I have lost myself and over-identified with my work and as a mom. And while both of those roles are extremely important to me and significant, and I love being a mom most of all, it really was a slap in the face because I knew that over-identifying with any one role that we take on, there's a danger in that. And so it was in that moment I had realized I had really lost myself, helping everybody else, raising my daughter. I lost myself, and I knew I needed to find myself again. And it wasn't long after that I discovered bath and body care products. And you can learn more about how I discovered that by my other videos and also reading about my biography. But it was a very scary moment, an awakening for me. And so I started thinking about it in terms of a social resume. And mine was very, very outdated. The things that I used to like to do, like 5 years ago, like reading or horseback riding, things like that, or it's even further back, I haven't done in forever. And so when I started thinking about it in terms of a life resume, that's how I started talking with my clients, who are primarily women, about having your life resume. Have you, what have you done to update it, right? And for a lot of women and men as well, but I'm speaking primarily about women in this because of the way that our society just has put a lot of pressure on women in particular in these areas of taking over most or a lot of raising of kids, right? Like at schools, for example, who the first emergency contact is, it's usually the mom, right? Things like that. But also career, taking care of, parents, or all of the above. And those things are easy to get consumed with. And so when we are trying to learn how to update our life resume or social resume, I always tell people to start small because many times we've lost the motivation to do those things that we used to enjoy doing that we might want to get back to, or even doing new things. We are kind of afraid to because we're afraid of change. And that's it's just being a human being. But I tell people to start small, like 5 minutes at a time. And no, you're not going to get very far in anything, just 5 minutes. But it's just dipping your toe in that water to kind of just slowly ease into it. And so even if it's reading, and I've had people come back to me and say, I didn't think I would enjoy this at all. And, I wouldn't keep doing it. But yeah, I started with 5 minutes and I really loved it. And a lot of the reasons why is because it's empowering. Because if we can even take just a few minutes for ourselves out of the day, we feel like we've gained a little bit of power back, a little bit of our time back, that we want to do something. And so I want to encourage you to really explore how outdated your own life resume is, as hard as that might be to come to terms with. And it's doing something for ourselves every day is what's really important, even again, if it's a small amount of time. And so for more ideas and products on how to increase your life resume and for ideas and readings, visit us at thirstylotus.com.